float,
The boy.
steal,
The new apartment building.
veterinarian, bear,
He.
bleed,
If you are. He tossed a coin into the air.
senator,
The young senator promised to make laws that.
overweight, beam,
Modern skies.
bond,
The women.
nurse,
A nurse.
reproduce,
The children.
assure,
He.
minor,
The.
chef,
Tom.
underneath,
The root.
commute,
I use.
ambitious,
Can.
barrier, crown,
The crown.
port,
The.
tap,
He.
medical,
Tile.
devil,
The church.
departure,
They were excited about their departure to go back home.
consider, couch,
Kim.
bush,
M-
rank,
The.
diligent, drift,
The large chunk of ice.
rub,
Mo-
tremendous, endure,
She had to endure her husband shouting all day long.
emperor,
The
allow,
ha-
chimney,
The.
strain,
Casey's strain.
anniversary, fiber,
The map.
recognition,
The hero got recognition for his.
inhabit,
No.
pretend,
The.
social,
P.
horrible,
The.
rag,
Please use a rag to clean the dust off the table.
swing,
He.
brilliant,
My.
scent,
Julie enjoyed.
impolite,
Rat.
trim,
I had.
astronaut,
The.
layer, comfort, layer,
There was a layer of snow on the tops of the houses this morning.
comfort,
I.
kneel,
Daryl kneeled down on one knee and asked Nina to marry him.
clear,
I need to clear my.
vessel,
We toured the area.
courage, ashamed,
He.
luxury,
Out.
enforce,
Police enforce traffic law.
suck,
The.
millionaire, flower,
Sh-
massive, rabbit,
L-
triumph,
He.
infant,
The.
rear,
The man loaded the rear of his truck with boxes.
Panic.
Every-
Tease.
Jake teased Charlie because he was the new student.
Pole.
The flag was
Restore. Unify. Priority.
My-
Deaf. Worm. Shed. Worm.
worms are.
Shed.
We have.
Strip.
He had.
Senses. Robe.
The monks of the temple all wear robes.
March.
The.
Pot. Broom.
My father.
Swift.
The swift.
Scold.
Jesse was scolded by the teacher for not paying attention.
Military.
I.
Horizon.
This.
Bandage.
If you cut yourself, please get a bandage from the first aid kit.
Sled.
Marvin likes to ride his.
Affair.
My wife and I attended a formal affair over the weekend.
Wheat.
The.
Branch.
The monkey was hanging from a branch on the tree.
Gravity. Voyage.
The.
Assembly.
The students had an assembly to talk about their interests.
Dog. Shape.
Even with your eyes closed, you can feel the shape of it.
Apprentice.
Mark.
View.
Mike.
Bless.
The angel blessed the newborn baby to keep it safe.
Judge.
The.
Scatter.
I accidentally.
Bald.
My oldest brother is bald.
Refuge.
What?
Cereal.
Cereal.
Bitter. Cereal.
Cereal is a fast and common breakfast.
Bitter.
He was
Otherwise.
It's.
Insert.
He.
Aboard.
They.
Cheerful.
The children were cheerful because they didn't have to go to school.
Broadcast.
We.
Spite.
He snuck into
puff,
a puff of
mutual, diameter,
the
bark,
the
worship,
many
mayor,
the
modest, steal,
the
exploit,
The company exploits their workers and makes them work 12 hours a day.
bullet, mineral,
Ru-
detect,
The
stroll,
my dog.
famine,
The farmers couldn't grow any food in the dry soil, so there was a famine.
stroll, beam, stroll,
My dog.
beam,
Modern skyscraper.
bond,
The women bonded after several hours of conversation.
famine, famine, famine,
The farmers couldn't grow any food in the dry soil.
alley,
The alley
startle,
The loud crash startled the sleeping woman.
understand,
Henry.
architecture,
The
harvest,
They had a lot of wheat from the last harvest.
fountain,
There was a beautiful
needle,
I used.
departure,
They were excited about.
hang,
I drew.
harbor, marry,
They felt merry because the weather was great.
disguise,
Everyone knew that it was Dad in the Santa disguise.
rent,
To
expense,
Sh-
enthusiastic,
The
nut,
To eat a nut, you must first crack its shell.
permission,
I
deceive,
He tried to deceive.
statistic,
the
threat,
due to the dark.
pardon,
Pardon me, teacher, but could you repeat what you just said? Pardon me, teacher, but could you repeat what you just said?
strain,
Casey's.
scent,
Julie and
rag, trigger,
The man had his finger on.
expedition,
The-
content,
The big.
sheriff,
It-
pharaoh,
The pharaohs ruled.
skull,
the brain,
bump,
the,
sweat,
whenever I go to the,
abandon,
the,
enforce,
police enforce traffic laws to keep everyone safe.
bandage,
If you cut yourself, please get a bandage from the,
scold,
Jessie was scolded,
robe,
the monk,
assembly,
the
scatter,
I accidentally scattered all of my pills.
affair,
My wife and I attended a formal affair over the weekend.
bitter,
He was extremely bitter when his computer crashed.
cheerful,
The children were
bless,
the,
exploit,
the,
puff,
a puff of,
beam,
modern,
startle,
the loud crash,
bond,
the women bonded after several hours of conversation.
marry,
They felt merry because the weather was great.
harvest,
They,
famine,
the farmers couldn't grow any.
fountain,
There was a beautiful fountain.
departure,
They were,
nut,
Two.
scent,
Julie enjoyed,
bandage,
if you cut yourself,
enforce,
Poli-
bitter,
he was,
scatter,
I accidentally scattered all of my pills.
puff,
A puff of smoke came from the burnt match.
affair,
My wife and I attended a,
scold,
Je-
famine,
The-
fountain,
The-
bond,
the women bonded,
bandage,
if,
startle,
the loud crash startled the sleeping woman.
marry,
The-
puff,
A puff of smoke came,
scent,
Julie enjoyed the scent of the flowers.
bond,
The women bonded after several hours of conversation.
scatter,
I
startle,
The loud crash.
affair,
My wife.
scent,
Ju-
puff,
A puff of smoke came from the burnt match.
startle,
The
bond,
The women bonded after several hours of
puff,
a puff.
bond,
The women